In 2015, we managed to get a really good deal on a Gibson Les Paul Deluxe Gold Top and a Gibson Les Paul CM, and I'd never before had a guitar with mini humbuckers or a gold top, and the one pickup, a single cut, was perfect for a punk rock band that was about to start. But as you might know, 2015 was a very funny year for Gibson, and most of the changes from that year I don't really mind. The asymmetrical neck and the wider fretboards, they're fine. The quality of the brass nut was a problem, but after one email, Gibson immediately sent out a new replacement titanium nut for free, which was nice. But the tuners, the G-Force automatic robo tuners, were a huge issue, and I did give them a chance. I wanted to like them, and I'm happy to embrace new tech. And they were okay until the first time I tried to change strings and broke one of the locking string nuts. Yeah, probably user error, but even so, I've never had a problem with traditional tuners, and having to hit a sequence of buttons to control what you want the tuners to do is a massive pain and unrealistic in a live situation. But at the time, I'd never drilled a headstock or changed tuners before. And after googling my options, I came across Phil McKnight's video on the Hipshot locking tuners, and even more importantly, I found out about the included UMP plates, the ump plates. The UMP plates allow you to install the tuners without having to drill the headstock or modify your guitar in any way. Just make sure that you measure the holes before ordering to see if you need the modern 10mm ones or the more vintage 8.5mm ones. So with some very basic tools, I was able to rip off the old G-Force Robo system, which luckily isn't screwed in or anything, it's just held in place by the tuners. So that means there's no unsightly holes in the headstock, and you can use pretty much whatever tuners you want, as you'll be choosing the placement of the screw holes yourself. Unless you go with the UMP plates like I did, and then there's no drilling necessary. The whole process of removing the old system and installing the new tuners probably took less than 20 minutes, maybe 15. I've got the open back on the CM and the closed back on the Les Paul Deluxe. And since then, I've also installed them on my Sparkle Les Paul Standard. I initially bought the wrong ones as the CM and the Deluxe. They've got the 10mm holes, and this one's got the vintage 8.5mm holes. So, like I said, be careful with that one. And I've also got them on my LT Custom Guitars JL1 model, but we're not using the ump plates on this one because these came stock as they do on all their Pioneer range. So I'll put a link down in the description so you can check those out. I think a lot of people presume that locking tuners are better and more stable than traditional tuners, but I'm not really sure that's the case. If they're installed really well, the nut is cut properly and lubricated well, normal tuners can be really reliable, and obviously the strings need to be stretched in well. But for me, the biggest advantage is the ease and speed of string changes. And yeah, that sounds lazy, but I like new strings. I change them before each gig. Once I've played a gig and sweated all over the strings, they're maybe fine for a rehearsal, but as someone who regularly records and gigs, fresh strings are important. I like new strings. Oh, and this is cool. Lastly, I love PRS guitars, and this is my 2001 Custom 22. I've had it for over 20 years, and it's safe to say it's my number one guitar, and as you can see, it's had quite a bit of use, wear and tear. I've used it a lot. The original tuners were really good, but eventually the low E tuners did start to fall apart. But I found that the Hipshot locking tuners are a direct drop-in replacement for the PRS tuners. The screw holes match up perfectly. The UMP plates, they work really well on 6-in-line and Gibson headstocks, but on a PRS they cause the tuners to kind of stick out in weird angles. They're still usable, but it just looks weird. But luckily you don't need to use the UMP plate with these because the screws just line up. And that's why I love the Hipshot Griplock Locking tuners. If you do decide to go for these and want some help with the installation, I'll link Phil McKnight's video in the description. It's what I used when I first installed them, and it made the process really easy. So what are your favourite tuners? Do you even have a favourite? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.